13 years ago, there was one food item introduced at a minor league stadium outside of St. Louis that started us down the road to ballpark food madness that we know today. It was like the harbinger of heartburn, the deep-fried canary in the coal mine, and they called it baseball's best burger.
Bacon and a slice of extra sharp cheddar cheese top off the burger. Then comes the game changer, the donut.
You know you want one. Wait, we have to really get this one going. Everybody, cue the porn music. Bow, chicka, bow, wow, chicka, chicka, bow, wow, bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Ooh, I see you brought some friends.
Please don't those donuts. But guys, that was it. Somebody put a burger on a fried Krispy Kreme, and we were off to the races. The concept of crazy novelty food spread throughout the minor leagues. When you think about it, it's a way to get fans in the door. The West Michigan Whitecaps introduced the 4,000-calorie Fifth Third burger, and they would give you a t-shirt if you could eat the whole thing yourself in one game. Crazy enough, in its first 2 seasons of doing it, they gave away 483 t-shirts. The math on that means it was almost 4 people per game eating one of those alone, which is insane. More insane, we called somebody and fact-checked that. You're welcome. The Lake County Captains in Ohio responded with the Moby Dick, a 3-pound sandwich featuring 5 quarter-pound fish fillets, 8 slices of cheese, and 6 ounces of clam strips served on a loaf, not a piece, a loaf of bread. They would also give you a t-shirt if you ate the whole thing, but you had to do it in an hour. Thank you. I hope that t-shirt keeps you warm at night because you just ate a year's worth of seafood in 2 innings. But the first major league team to step into the ring was most likely the Texas Rangers, who in 2012 invented the Boomstick, a 24-inch hot dog that's smothered in chili, cheese, jalapenos, and caramelized onions, and it comes in its own custom carrying case, which conveniently doubles as a receptacle for later. Fun fact about the Boomstick, its creators said that they originally wanted the hot dog to be served on a stick, wrapped in bacon, battered, and deep fried, but, quote, we couldn't find a stick that we were comfortable with that, once removed, couldn't be used as a weapon. And they obviously didn't want to hand fans something that posed a threat to their health and safety, so instead they just gave them a 24-inch hot dog. And they sold 20,000 of those in their first year, an estimated $500,000 in sales, which is huge for the Rangers and for Delaware North. See, the concessions at major league stadiums are mostly run by like 5 companies. In baseball, the big ones are Aramark, Levy Restaurants, and Delaware North. Of the 30 MLB stadiums, 27 have a deal with one of those 3 guys. And so, of course, when Delaware North saw how well the Boomstick was doing in Arlington, they thought, maybe fans at our other stadiums would like it too. And so they took it, rebranded it the more generic name Giant Slugger, and sold it for the month of July at 6 other stadiums across the country. And voila, the greasy, sticky, sloppy marriage between novelty food and baseball was consummated. And so now we've reached a point where we have deep-fried nachos sprinkled with Dorito crumbs in Milwaukee, a pulled pork sandwich served between 2 funnel cakes in Kansas City, a hot dog with cotton candy-infused mustard in Texas. That's real. At this point, they are just throwing in so many crazy ingredients, it's hard to think of what they're going to come up with next.
Stomach-churning video surfaced over the weekend appearing to show a Comerica Park food vendor spitting into pizza he was preparing.
Sounds a little unorthodox, but I feel like we should try it before we judge. Also, it didn't appear to show him doing that. You can very clearly see that man spit in that pizza. Spitgate may have been a unique situation involving a disgruntled employee that just happened to work at Comerica Park. But a number of investigations over the last few years have found that there is a lot to be concerned about with stadium food, and it isn't that they're putting Fruit Loops on a hot dog, although they are doing that.
At a Royals game, people hope for the best experience, and that includes eating. But recent food safety concerns have some on edge. Health Department records obtained by KMBC show on April 9th, inspectors found a dead roach in a pan Chemical storage issues, a pen in a margarita mix, and foods weren't kept at the right temperatures.
But to be fair, this problem is not isolated to Major League Baseball. It's happening in lots of stadiums.
We're talking pro football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. In 28% of the venues, half or more of the food service outlets had a, quote, high-level violation, meaning a potential threat for foodborne illness.
Yeah, and if that's not specific enough for you, it's also meaning finding a live mouse inside a commercial-sized bag of Cracker Jacks, which is an actual thing that happened at Coors Field in Denver. Now that actually would make a great Ratatouille sequel. Ratatouille. Two-rat-two-tooey. Whatever. Whether it's employees not washing their hands properly, food stored at dangerous temperatures, or bugs in and around the vicinity of the food, stadiums clearly have a number of issues with food preparation that they need to address. Or they could just lean into it. You know what they say, when life hands you bugs in the kitchen.
Here at Safeco Field, you're going to be able to find a treat that you won't find anywhere else. It's chili lime roasted grasshoppers. Yes, that's right, chili lime roasted grasshoppers. Now,
So they're good? So with all of this news about food service conditions in stadiums being not so great, you would think that this must certainly bleed over into the coverage of all the wacky new food stuff that they peddle each season, right?
Of course, they've still got peanuts and Cracker Jacks here at the stadium, but why would you want to eat this when you can choose from all of this here at Yankee Stadium?
And I'm going to bring you back the most delicious stuff they have here, which is really everything.
This is great. See, I get paid for this. This is really good.
Sir, I believe the phrase that you're looking for there is bow chicka wow wow. The thing is, yeah, these two very related stories never seem to intersect when they're being covered by the media, and that's why stadiums are never gonna stop with these taco burger fire pizzas. It is a ton of free positive press that totally ignores the elephant in the kitchen. That probably happened at a stadium. There was an elephant in the kitchen, which, you know, is fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I personally think that if you can't make regular concession items without getting people sick, you shouldn't be allowed to do the ambitious gimmicks with 10 different ingredients. Because, you know, when you fail your driving exam, they're not like, hey, why don't you go to the Daytona 500? But that's just my personal opinion. I just think that if you're going to bathe in all that positive press, you should have to have a clean record or no record at all, like me. And that's why I'm excited to debut the brand new, totally wacky, Always Latte. That's right. It's just an empty cup, because get used to it. Life doesn't give you shit. No, I'm just kidding, there's stuff. So it is, it's 1 part coffee. I really have to do this here live. 1 part coffee, sure, let's put that whole thing in. Then we've got 2 parts steamed milk. I mean, it is a latte, right? So, yum. Then we have first we've got to use some, medicine. And like, don't go crazy with it, you know, like just use a little bit of that. Oh, don't applaud it. My mom watches the show. Then it's a 1/4 cup of, I'm gonna just sip a little off the top because we're running out of room already. A 1/4 cup of Sahag Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't think you're supposed to do booze and milk, right? That probably was a poor choice. Just push those in there with your fingers. Next we have, you gotta get a dollop for color, you know, a dollop of blueberry cream cheese. Let's get that right up in there. Twist it, well, the spoon lives in there now, that's where that lives. Then you gotta get yourself a bagel for a garnish here, right? One of those nice, shiny, fancy bagels. It makes logical sense. And then for a straw, a Twizzler. And there you have it, guys, it's Always Latte. Does anybody, thank you. Hey, Yankees guy, do you want to come up and try it? Are you sure? Okay, I guess more for me.